How many hidden? What a container. How many hidden secrets are inside the Lego Home Alone house? Let's see. The box includes 24 bags, 2 sticker sheets. Why so many? And Kevin's battle plan, containing the instructions, some facts about the designer since you can recreate, and the original version published on the ideas page. And the first thing we're going to build is the Wet Bandits Band. Carrying inside their substantial loot, and you can identify them by their logo that is OK, or maybe not so OK. And their plates with the designer's initials on them, which I won't try to pronounce. Through these windows, which were not in the original movie, you can see the foundations and mechanisms that make this whole set work. I think, on the first floor, is the living room with the Christmas tree decorated with pigeons, a reference to Home Alone 2. In the gifts, we have some toy cars that are quite slippery, and a mini set of the Lego we're currently building. No other Easter egg sparked more existential questions than this one. The set I'm building with so many Christmas references, should Lego make it come out random people's houses? But look at this fireplace, it's made with R2-D2 legs, and it has a golden frog! And in front we have one of the best pieces, this incredible train track that is not a sticker and moves the legendary cardboard cutout of Michael Brick? Michael Brick Jordan? Michael B. Jordan? Michael B. Jordan of the Bricks?
Didn't get Michael A. Jordan, so we got Michael B. Jordan?
The train and the disc rotate thanks to this knob and whatever happens behind those windows. The dining room would be almost perfect if it weren't for the chairs being allergic to 90 degrees. No matter what I did, they never stood upright. This looks more like a disaster movie than a Christmas movie. The clock marks the time slightly to the left thanks to a poorly placed sticker. That may explain why Kevin left his mac and cheese plate untouched. The stairs do more than throw paint cans at you. They're also for sledding down with a snow sled, or at least that's supposed to, but after trying thousands of times, this was my best shot.
Nice throw!
On the next floor, we have Buzz's room with shelf full of many interesting things. I wonder what will happen if I climb and take. But this didn't fall due to poor craftsmanship, rather it was because I pulled this little lever. If you check inside Buzz's secret chest, you'll find his love.
Woof!
On his desk, there's a flyer from Duncan's toy store from Home Alone 2. His door has some of my favorite stickers because here are the only out of 30-something stickers that I actually placed correctly. I swear. In the parents' room is a not very functional clock.
We slept in!
I wonder if it's because it's just a sticker and a perfect bed to jump on while eating popcorn. Oui. That's how you say yes in French. In the bathroom, you can see how fresh you look. And don't forget to brush your teeth, preferably with a non-stolen toothbrush.
I'm a criminal.
Going up to the top of the house. So there was the tarantula that escaped. In the attic is Kevin's room with his battle plan, a giant spider web, and the most obscure reference in the entire set, a candy machine? Given that in all the scenes where Kevin's room appears, there are so many more options for an Easter egg than a candy machine that appears in the corner of one frame. In the basement next to the washing machines, there's a sock that Kevin left, probably for this reason.
Only my imagination. Only my imagination.
Or maybe for an even dire reason, Marv. The terrifying heater lights up using this transparent brick. And the terrifying teeth are black sausages. No other place in the house is more brimming with Easter eggs than the kitchen, with Little Nero's pizza boxes, a TV to watch, angels with filthy souls.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
Or just to fool some dumb robbers, a flamethrower that welcomes unexpected visitors. And if that wasn't enough, this elevator drops an iron at anyone who shouldn't be there. And just like one door has my favorite stickers, one door has the stickers I hated the most, due to how hard it was to place. But if you peek past the pop, you'll find yourself. Howdy! The refrigerator is full of mac and cheese since the groceries are now part of the floor. On the outside, these transparent blue pieces serve to make thieves slip. And if we look inside the trash can, we'll find Kevin's ticket, which was accidentally thrown away. The house can be opened like a dollhouse with these handles. But don't go grabbing this knob, it's a bit harder than usual. The house can be separated into 5 different modules and it includes 5 minifigures. Kevin comes with 2 expressions, a normal one and movie poster. Includes an ice cream that he shouldn't eat.
Come out and stop me!
And his sled. Whee! And a hat so he doesn't get cold. The bandits have their stealing tools. You can change Harry's regular hat for a completely legitimate police hat.
School here.
And Marv comes with 2 expressions, regular and... Kevin's mom has a regular expression and...
Kevin!
Old Man Marley with his so reliable shovel that some say...
Murdered his whole family and half the people on his block with the snow shovel.
But then we find out that he's actually a great guy. And to escape the bandits, Kevin can rappel down to his treehouse. And that was the Lego Home Alone house. And how could I forget, the statue that always gets knocked over by the pizza guy. Is the Lego Time Machine the most perfect recreation made with Lego so far? Let's check it out. The box includes 11 bags, twice 4, and twice 11. A sticker sheet, and one more sticker. A huge amount of stickers since the ideal number of stickers for me is 0. The instruction booklet includes interesting facts not only in the first pages but also in various corners of the manual and in the middle of the instructions, like this onomatopoeia that shows you how to say click in various languages. Click, clack, clack, I can pronounce that. And now let's build that time machine! With royalty-free music. At the bottom, it includes the most interesting mechanism of the set, which we'll see later. And the most indecisive instruction ever, because it tells you to put these yellow cubes here, only for a few pages later to tell you to remove them and put them over there. The most bipolar rule I've seen until now, and it had me questioning the instructions for several hours. Are you sure? Well, if you say so. The doors can be opened upwards, although don't expect them to stay there forever. The DeLorean might be able to break the laws of time and space, but not gravity. So be careful not to hit your head. Inside the car on the console, this readout
tells you where you're going, this one tells you where you are, this one tells you where you were.
And how could we time travel without
The flux capacitor.
that? Really works! Just like in the movie! With flashing lights, pressing this button activates this glowing cube, and we're ready to go back to the future. Although the sticker I put looks more like a taco stand display just cause I had a little more grease on my fingers. Another reason to hate stickers. The trunk is located at the front of the car, with a box of plutonium.
Are you telling me that this sucker is nuclear?
That definitely wasn't stolen, and hopefully won't be violently collected. And the hoverboard, which is actually just a broken scooter. The car is fully functional, in the sense that it can move forward and backward, but not sideways, due to one of the coolest features, which is flying! Or at least pretending, by moving these transparent cubes from here to here, pushing this red lever, and changing Doc's expression to
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need
roads.
You can turn the wheels and fly. And these transparent blue pieces give it the effect of electricity. Although with the power of editing, we can add slightly more realistic lightning bolts. Just a little. You can display it like your favorite movie car, whether it's Back to the Future 1, 2, or 3. Though if your favorite car is Lightning McQueen, those pieces are not included. For the first movie, you'll need the base model and a hook to catch a lightning bolt with enough energy to go
Back to the future!
But if you want something a little bit more modern, just swap the classic out-of-time plates for these incredible plates that, incredibly, I couldn't find in 2015, and the plutonium-based engine for one based on the Field of the Distant Future 2015 garbage, using Mr. Fusion. Wow, 2015 indeed gets further away every day. There are kids watching this video who were born in 2015. That really makes you feel old. But if you're into the Old West, swap those modern 80s tires for the retro 50s tires. And by turning this gray piece, we can connect this box of 19th century scientific knickknacks to finally go
Back to the future!
Unless they decide after 40 years to make Back to the Future 4. The set includes the minifigures of Marty McFly and Doc Brown, which are incredibly detailed. Marty McFly includes his self-lacing Nikes, pants with pockets inside out, something that definitely every future guy does. And Doc with his trench coat and textured pants, which is actually the most realistic future outfit, as long as Doc is a TikTok rapper. Marty and Doc both have double faces. Marty, happy to have altered the space-time continuum and angry that someone called him chicken. And Doc is concerned, wondering how many times he'll have to send this kid to the future.
Oh, it can't be! Just sent you back to the future!
And the iconic
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
And that was the Lego Time Machine. Click right here to What amazing secrets can Lego Super Mario unlock? Let's see. The box gives you instructions on how to properly open it, probably to avoid the excessive violence against boxes. The box includes 5 bags and one more. Instructions that only serve to clean your ass, since its only instruction is how to download the real instructions from the Lego app. And now let's start building. The set includes a rotating platform, a flying cloud, whee! A catapult, a mystery block, a drainage pipe, the floor is lava, the flagpole, towers, grass floors, various decorative elements, and extra pieces to connect the level. And no Mario level would be complete without its villains attacking you with the touch of death. So the set includes 2 enemies, a Goomba, or what I always thought were, and Bowser Jr. Lego Super Mario sets are one of my favorite Lego themes, mainly because they have an incredible amount of zero stickers in all of their sets. And for someone who suffers from completely useless fingers for sticking stickers, it's a pleasant surprise. The set doesn't include minifigures, or at least not a traditional one, but something a little bit more different. Opening this box, we'll find Mario, who looks at you with a deep and intense darkness. But that's not a problem, just stick in 2 AAA batteries and he'll be his friendly self once again. So consider that when you buy it. I had to go out at 3 AM in search of a pack of batteries if I didn't want Mario to steal my soul. Don't steal my soul, bro. Mario's figure not only serves to tell me how boring my video is, hey, I tried, but also to reveal hidden secrets inside all the big Super Mario sets released so far, like the NES, adding sound effects and music to your gameplay, the question mark block, activating a Star Search minigame, and even a full-blown boss fight against the mighty Bowser. that soon you'll be seeing, or maybe it's already up on the channel, but you won't be able to access any of those features unless you update your Mario to its latest version with the Mario app. Because now, even your Legos need constant updates. The Cyberpunk is now, old man. Mario's minifigure reacts to anything with this barcode, like the drainage pipe, the Goomba, or the level send flagpole. Although he also reacts to things without the barcode, solely using the color, like the red pieces that burn him in lava, and the blue pieces that put it out. He also has various casual sounds like jumping, sleeping, and feeling pain. You can't be more cyberpunk. Even if you don't have any of the other LEGO Super Mario sets, it doesn't matter, because the base set has an incredible amount of replayability, since the builds the box gives you are just parts that you can combine and rearrange to your liking, having only with the starter pack endless ways to play. You'll spend hours assembling and disassembling this set and defeating Bowser Jr. as many times as you want, although maybe his dad might not be a big fan of that. And if you wanna know what's going to happen to Mario, just watch this video where we see just how mighty the mighty Bowser is. Just how mighty is the LEGO Mighty Bowser that not even the box could contain all that power. Let's see. The box includes 22 bags and one more bag. For the first time, the sticker count in a set of this size is 0! Automatically putting it at the top of my all-time favorite LEGO sets list. In the instruction booklet, we can find various facts about the designers and the Super Mario's main foe, Bowser, King Koopa, or as Mario calls him in Super Mario 64.
Okay, Bowser?
And the first thing we'll build is the base. Which, aside from making Bowser look even more imposing, has some hidden features that we'll see later. Although some people think that maybe it wasn't so necessary and not adding it would have lowered the price a bit. Bowser is not just a great statue, but also functions as a kind of puppet, where the main mechanism can be found in the torso, with levers on the sides that allow you to move the head up and down, and pushing this sidebar moves his head from side to side. The set works thanks to Technic pieces, so if you're a fan of that theme, you'll love it. But if not, like me, you'll be a bit frustrated with that part of the construction where you'll be scratching your head thinking, where does this piece go? Why won't you fit? But I put it right! Again. Luckily it's just one part. When lifting it, the legs retract as if he's doing one of his super jumps. Or has baby legs. The arms are fully articulated, so you can pose them however you want.
How do you do, sir?
As long as it looks incredibly threatening. But of the fingers, only the thumb can rotate completely, with the remaining fingers just moving slightly, thus preventing Bowser from being even more metal than he already is.
Peaches, peaches, peaches.
Don't know what sign that is, so I better censor it. If for some strange reason you find him incredibly adorable and you wanna hug him, be careful, because his back is covered by a shell full of spikes made with these brown cones. Ouch! In case you weren't yet convinced of Bowser's abilities as a puppet, just take a look at all the expressions he can create with the different movable parts of his head, like his eyes, that can see you, and himself.
Howdy.
His eyebrows, that serve to show you how angry he is, how sad he is, or how neutral he is.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
And how could he attack without his mighty Fire Breath, which is activated by pulling the lever that makes Bowser's head move up and down. Shooting at no one's eyes, just like you said it, unless they're Mario's. Take that! This set, despite its large size, does not include any minifigures, as it considers that Bowser doesn't need a minifigure. when he is an Ultra Mega Super Jumbo figure. But if you want something for your Bowser to interact with, you'll have to spend more money on the Mario Starter Pack set, which you can see in more detail in this video. By sliding this part of the base and putting Mario on this barcode, it activates the boss fight that you can win by hitting him everywhere. The arms, the face, Nope. And after pounding Mario against Bowser, you won! That's what I would say if Bowser didn't have a second phase that you can just win by simply jumping on him. Since now, Bowser is invincible and will even hurt you. Defeating him is impossible. Unless Bowser knocks down the towers, revealing the Power Cube, which is not a sticker, but the key to finally defeating the mighty Bowser. For now. And that was the Mighty Bowser set. If you want to see more of the Mighty Bowser, $100 million masterpiece they usually wouldn't even let you breathe near, but for $169.99, you can even destroy it. I'm talking about the Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night Lego Edition. Upon opening it, we find this little note informing us that Lego is trying to be more eco-friendly, and some of the bags might be paper. The set contains 20 plastic bags, a manual with enough facts to do your art homework, and
the joy of building Lego with J-Bricks. Today's materials: 2 bag 1s,
1 bag 2, 2 bag 3s, 1 bag 4, 5 bag 5, 4 bag 6s, 1 bag 7, 2 bag 8, 2 bag 9.
And a grand total of 0 stickers, proving that indeed this set is art, complete with hidden secrets like this little house we found when removing the cypress tree. Something not in the original painting. Or at least you can check that, because it's not something you can verify by just ripping that piece of the painting.
And it not only looks like a work of art, while I was building it, it felt like I was painting, putting layer after layer after layer of brick strokes, adding final details like the stars and the moon, which are not stickers. And I even felt like cutting off an ear from the sheer monotony of assembling the sky. Each line you have to guess which shade of blue goes where. And it's not that I'm colorblind, it's just that to me, this is blue, this is blue, this is blue, this is very blue, this is 50 shades of blue, 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 bluish, blue, blue is blue.
Sometimes when you're building Legos, you can have happy accidents. Like when I was assembling this section of the set, the pieces were nearly identical. So I messed up again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and damn it!
So, having to constantly check a Pantone guide only to realize I messed up not 1, not 2, not 3 lines back, but pretty much from the beginning. But in the end, it doesn't even matter, as Lego sends extra pieces knowing it's very likely you're going to end up messing up many times. That's far from my favorite part of the set. Even so, when you finish it and finally frame it, it's one of the most beautiful sets I've ever built, because you don't only have a recreation of one of the best paintings in history, you have a recreation of one of the best paintings in history in 3D, and everything's better in 3D. If not, they wouldn't charge you almost double for 3D movies. But the painting isn't the only piece of art, since the set includes a Vincent van Gogh minifigure.
Beautiful!
With brush strokes all over his clothes and beard, pretty similar to his self-portrait. And you can mount him on this little base in the corner with his easel, where he's painting a mini recreation of the Starry Night. Because why have art when you can have art squared? And the little base not only serves as a minifigure stand, it also lets you display it on a shelf, or if you prefer with the attachment on the back, you can hang it on any wall in your house, exactly like you display any other painting. unless you consider
More like belongs in the trash.
Sorry, I must have missed that one.
in that case, I don't know why you'd spend so much money just to recreate a SpongeBob joke, but all for the sake of art. And that was the Lego set of the Starry Night. How many hidden secrets are in Lego? Let's find out. The set includes 10 bags, an excessive amount of stickers for a set not that big,
It's unusually high for someone your size.
and over 50 references that we'll see in this tiny office. Entering the reception, we find maybe one of the show's most iconic moments, the Gogh truck, moved by Mr.
Fantástico. ¿Qué pasa?
And that couch where Michael did parkour.
Parkour!
And I know, it doesn't look like the hardest thing in the world, but just ask Kevin how hard it was bringing his chili through the entrance. And suddenly, Michael's parkour skills start looking much more impressive.
Parkour.
Though not as impressive as Dwight's skills to travel through time. Right through the fax machine to warn himself that someone is going to poison the coffee. Which was just another one of Jim's antics, one that wasn't appreciated at all by Stanley. And in the same sales area, we can find another one of Jim's pranks, the iconic stapler in yellow, a classic around the world.
Puso la radio dentro de un completo. Es tercera vez que lo hace y ni siquiera fue divertido la primera vez.
If we open Jim's desk, we find the wedding ring for Pam. And on his computer, we see he's not doing much work, so to speak, because he's very busy messaging Pam, as we see on the reception computer, and by the little hearts, a very romantic conversation. So let's better move on to Dwight, who isn't exactly working hard either.
Yawn. 4 seconds.
Since he's checking the Truth Farm's website, looking in his drawers, and between the desk, you'll find he keeps ninja stars and a sword. Something he'll never use as long as he listens to his favorite station, Froggy 101. And if that's not enough, the bobblehead Angela gave him is more than enough to cheer him up. Just look at this happy little fella. Phyllis is much calmer, so you won't find any ninja swords or anything too strange. She's so ordinary that just like the rest of the office, she's doing the extraordinary amount of zero work. And instead of that, she's viewing the website of her husband.
Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration.
Across from her is Stanley, maybe the only one trying to, work. Too bad the page is under maintenance. Opening Stanley's drawer, you'll find a Stanley nickel, a response to Dwight's truth box. On the cabinet next to Stanley and Phyllis, these pile of bricks represent the Homer Simpson doll, and note that some of the producers, Toby included, worked on The Simpsons. In the corner of the office, we see a trash can on fire that Dwight lit to put the office security measures to the test, something Andy perhaps tried to test as well, but focused on the density of the drywall, creating this hole in the wall.
That was an overreaction.
And if you open one of the drawers in the opposite corner, you'll find Bandit, Angela's cat, that despite the designer's attempts, doesn't include a launching feature, so you'll have to launch him with your own hands. Moving on to the conference room, on the TV, you can choose between watching the Lazy Scranton rap, Ryan's video call with the screen covered in pizza, or one of the most important moments, when the DVD logo hit the corner of the TV. Wow!
Some days I am just on fire.
The conference room isn't just for TV, but for very important presentations about how to don't bother Luke, or the great opportunities that exist by joining the pyramid scheme Michael joined.
It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not even a scheme per se.
Above the windows is the Diversity Day Take Two banner, which can be swapped for the It Is Your Birthday sign.
Fact. Not even an exclamation point?
Two big moments that really bonded the office. On the other side is Michael's office, the place most packed with Easter eggs and references in every corner, like one of the Dundies, this hot dog drawn by. If you open the drawer, you get the chance to read Michael's incredible script. Behind him is Dwight's favorite megaphone.
I love you!
And above him is the American flag, a reference to the US being a country, I think. But on the right cabinet is one of the golden tickets, giving you a huge 10% discount. What a magical moment. And what is that horrible smell?
Yuck. Yuck.
Well, lifting Michael's desk, you can see a giant... The set includes 15 minifigures, a huge amount of minifigures for a 1,164-piece set, considering other sets of much larger size like the Mighty Bowser at more than double the size includes the incredible amount of none. It's very impressive. Those being Michael Scott, includes a World's Best Boss mug, and a huge check for $340 for science. Dwight Schrute includes a Schrute buck to motivate his coworkers. Jim Halper brings the love letter he hid in the teapot he gave Pam for Christmas but couldn't actually give her until many seasons later. And Pam brings that gift teapot, which at one point she preferred to trade for an iPod, because come on, it's an iPod. Kevin includes his famous pot of chili, which unfortunately only the carpet tasted. Angela brings the baby poster she'd have conflicts with Oscar over, and that would finally end up forcing Oscar to use it. Oscar Martinez has his unnecessary calculator, at least from his point of view. Phyllis has her sewing kit with the mittens she needed for Michael when he left. Stanley Hudson brings his trusty Sudoku and his pretzel from Pretzel Day.
This is Pretzel Day.
Ryan Howard brings his inseparable cell phone, and his two faces represent different moments of his life, Inter mode and Bus mode. Kelly Kapoor includes her cake with her name
Spelled correctly?
Meredith brings a cup of mysterious liquid, which she needed after the bat incident. Creed and his monk being so smelly, we better go to the next minifigure. Toby includes the camera he needed so badly.
Does anyone have a camera here?
And Daryl with a takeout menu for his favorite food spot, Terry's Diner. And that was Lego The Office. If you wanna see more, click here to watch how I built Lego The Office before I get fired.
You've been ex-punk! Surprise! It's a joke!
How many hidden secrets are in the Motorized Lego Lighthouse? Let's find out. With a price tag of $299.99, the box includes 20 bags and 5 stickers, which, considering other sets of similar or even smaller size, is truly a light in a world of darkness. The set features a rocky base with a port on the front where you can anchor your boat leading up the stairs to the rest of the set. But if you'd rather walk right past that, you'll find this mysterious cave containing a chest guarded by Batman, but without the man. So just a bat. No, not a baseball bat. An actual animal bat, which probably is not the best at hitting home runs. But it does a pretty good job guarding a chest full of ring pops. And something even more important, the switch that turns on the lighthouse, plus a few other secrets inside the set that we'll check out a bit later. But if you keep going even further, you'll find that battery box. And if you keep going even further, you'll find a nest surrounded by some little white dots, the byproduct of a seagull with zero concept of personal boundaries named Jeffrey.
My name is Jeff.
who, if you're not careful, will completely invade your personal space. Jeffrey! Going up the stairs, we find the keeper's cottage, called Aurora Point. I don't know what point Aurora was trying to make by building a house right next to a giant blinding light, but I'm pretty sure she illustrated the point quite well. It was made perfectly clear. I feel enlightened. And I will stop making bright puns now. Inside the cabin, there's a Jeffrey, get out of here! Inside, there's a bed, a kitchen, a fish on the wall. Basically, everything you need to face the crushing loneliness of living in a lighthouse. Complete with a fireplace that you can only turn on by going down into the dark and terrifying cave with a home run hitting bat. And once you're nice and warm and well lit, you can finally read that letter from someone who doesn't live out in the open ocean, reminding you just how lonely you are. But if you need to remember what humans look like, both the little cabin and the lighthouse are full of photos and paintings of people the designer actually knows, meaning you and I are absolutely nothing. Something that was probably a really pleasant surprise for the designer was seeing the photo that inspired him to make this set inside this set. And even though they aren't related, I think those photos will help prevent the lighthouse keeper from going crazy and starting to date his furniture. Wait, even the door? That's not what I meant when I said you needed to open up more. And speaking of opening up, if we open the lighthouse tower, we can see that it includes stairs and different tools so he can climb up and fix the lighthouse when needed. Just be careful where he steps, because he could... Oops. And right at the very top is the most important part, the lighthouse light, which after reading the whole manual actually functions pretty much exactly like the real deal, just, much smaller, using this complex rotating mechanism that runs through the whole tower and spins perfectly without tangling the cable. Surprisingly, even so, if you look between the little cottage and the lighthouse, you'll find a not-so-hidden cable. But considering the rest of the truly impressive engineering, I think we can overlook that. This set is the most perfect 3D postcard in existence, no matter what angle you look at it from. But it's in the dark where this set really shines, literally, with its bulb illuminating everything around it. The orange light from the fireplace makes the little cabin look incredibly cozy. Add a little fog in post-production and it becomes a lot more mysterious. But not as mysterious and weird as the movie The Lighthouse, or hey, who knows? The set includes two minifigures, the lighthouse keeper who comes with a spyglass so he can see absolutely everything, well, almost everything, and a face that doesn't exactly show if he's happy, sad, about to go to the bathroom, already went, or is simply about to commit insurance fraud. Comment down below what you think this face means, and a female sailor who travels in her boat, the Lita, with her companion, a kitten who probably doesn't want to be anywhere near the water. This is easily one of the best sets to decorate your house with, but it has a tiny, massive problem, and that is, according to the box, this boat does not float. But that box can't stop me because I can't read, so let's put it to the test. Those bastards lied to me! And that was the Motorized Lego Lighthouse set. If you wanna see more, click right here to watch me build it before we run aground. This is a truck, and this is a robot, and these are Lego pieces. What happens if you combine them? Well, you get the protagonist of the movie with the most explosions in the world, and the best story ever made, which truly is more than meets the eye. Let's see, coming in at $169.99, the box includes 10 bags, a manual with the complete history of the Transformers, which is mainly based on the Autobots being good, the Decepticons not so much, and for that reason, Earth will be destroyed in an endless war. The set includes 4 stickers, with the Autobot logo and Optimus Prime's eyes being completely printed pieces, proving just how compassionate Optimus Prime can be towards humanity. Optimus Prime can be put into any heroic pose that does not involve bending his knees. Maybe too many transformations have affected his ligaments. Or Lego forgot that the Autobots, unlike minifigures, actually do have knees. But who knows, I'm not an expert in Transformers biology or mechanics to know why Optimus Prime would need Bengay for his knees and hands that can really do much more than give an epic high five. Although if we remove this little piece, we can make him much more expressive. Something that might not be such a good idea, since his fingers might end up falling off. But if instead of taking off just one piece, you take off his whole hand, you can attach any of his accessories like the Ion Blaster. Pew! Ha! Stop! His Energon Axe. Hey, be careful with that, it's sharp. And turning him around, you will find on his back nothing. A gap that can easily be filled with this jetpack, which not only makes your set better, but also turns him into a flying toy.
Not a flying toy.
This pink cube is my favorite completely unnecessary piece, an inanimate Energon cube which in the series serves as food, fuel, weapon of war, currency, or simply an inanimate Energon cube. I really have no idea what it actually does, so moving on. All these accessories are stored in, well, nowhere other than just placed or thrown around. The only item with an official spot is the Ion Blaster, which is slots in right here. Everything else you can keep it, well, in your favorite junk drawer. Or you can also remember that it's Lego, so you can stick them wherever you want. The only other perfectly stored object can be found behind his window pegs, the matrix of leadership, because a leader isn't born, he's made. Through the sheer amount of ancient and powerful mystical objects he possesses, whether as a truck or as an amazing space robot warrior, Optimus Prime will look incredible on any shelf you put him on, and if someone sees him and doesn't know who he is, don't worry. This plaque brings the necessary stats to know that Optimus Prime has a courage of 10, something that means absolutely nothing since there is nothing to compare it with. So, from my point of view, he still lacks courage if he wants to beat Courage the Cowardly Dog. But the best part of Transformers has always been, well, transforming. And the Lego set is not different, with an incredibly fluid transition from Space Robot Warrior to a primary color truck in just 16 steps. The only extra step involves swapping out his belt for the truck's front grille, but beyond that, it's smooth sailing, and he's incredibly stable in both modes. The minifigures are non-existent. That said, doesn't include minifigures, so don't expect to find a little Shia LaBeouf or a little Mark Wahlberg holding a mini Bud Light, but what you can find is a How many hidden secrets are in the Lego Friends apartments? Let's find out. The box includes 15 bags, 2 10s, 2 14s, and this unnumbered bag. 15 stickers, of which we'll only use 13. Why only 14? Because the 90s gods don't want to torture us with an excessive amount of stickers like in the other sitcom set we did, or for more sinister reasons.
Oh my God!
We'll find out later. The set is divided into 3 parts: the guy's apartment, the hallway, and the girl's apartment, each with its corresponding color, orange for the guys and purple for the girls, except for the episodes where they switch places, thanks to the fact that nobody knows what Chandler does for a living. The guy's apartment has everything any single 20-something from the 90s would want, like a foosball table, a dartboard, a human kangaroo boxing poster. And thinking about that, these are also things I like to have in the future, like these recliners that actually recline at the exact same time, exactly like in this show. And while they relax on the recliners on the TV, they can enjoy watching Dr. Drake Remory, a character played by Joy. Look, I'm on TV. On the door there's a racket, perfect for playing tennis. But be careful hitting anything that isn't the ball. Oops. But if that's too complicated, you can always do something a little less dangerous, like watching Joy drink a gallon of milk in under 10 seconds. Wow, he actually did it! In front we have the canoe, which was the only thing they had left after all their furniture was stolen. Thanks to Joy letting himself get locked in with his hockey stick inside the entertainment center he was trying to sell. Could we be more white trash? On the entryway table, we have the encyclopedia, but not just any encyclopedia, the one that has all the words starting with the letter B. Perfect for any conversation containing B words, like volcano, Vietnam, vivisection, or vibrate. Up is the corporate, with messages like call me, Emily. This note with the initials of the designer Anderson Ward Group and the phone number 555 Pizza. A number we can see they use constantly since there are pizza boxes scattered all over the set. A reference to the fact that they're from New York, they love pizza, or maybe that they are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Or maybe it's just George Stephanopoulos pizzas. Hope he doesn't mind. On the door is the iconic Magno Doodle, which in the series had a bunch of different messages. And they said, let you choose between 3 different ones. When to get coffee, a reference to the other friend said, I'm sorry, and why? Why did they give me more stickers than I needed? What do they expect me to do with them? Trade them? Throw them in the trash? Stick them on random parts of the set? Stick them on my cat? Nothing, all of the above. Why, Lego, why? That's the sticker I chose. I think it fits perfectly with my personality. And who knows, maybe I'll end up giving the stickers to someone who needs them more. Like the trash can. Just look how cool it looks. In the corner, we find one of the many animals Joey and Chandler own, Pat the dog. Stay, good fake dog. The other 2 are the chick and the dog, who unlike Pat are not plastic animals. Well, here they are, but in the show they're very much alive, as long as the landlord doesn't see them. Although it shouldn't be a problem, since they're completely trained. Stare at the wall, hardly move, be wide. See? Trained. But if they misbehave, you can always throw them out into the hallway, where on the floor we'll see the stolen cheesecake that Rachel and Chandler dropped, and it was so good that they ended up eating it off the floor right alongside Joey. In the girls' apartment is the kitchen, where great feasts were cooked, and the occasional culinary atrocity. And opposite of that is the TV, where they're watching some sport. What sport? I have no idea, since they're just stick figures, and in the background, a banner that supports no team, but just sports in general. What can I say other than Go Sports? Behind the door that was locked for 8 seasons, that was a lot of Chandler pounds ago, you'll find
Bet it's Richard.
No, but rather something more surprising, that Monica isn't the massive neat freak you thought she was. If that doesn't surprise you, imagine the people who waited 8 seasons. Outside of the girls' apartment is the balcony, where we can find the cat that stopped Ross and Rachel from kissing. But even better was the giant poking device they used to find out if the ugly naked guy in the other building was negatively alive. All the posters in both apartments were Legofied. But Monica's Danish poster was perhaps the most Legofied, because instead of a regular Danish poster, it has a poster of the Danish company Lego with the Danish phrase that gave it its name, Leg God. Play well. Both apartments have these structures representing studio lights, which makes me wonder, my Lego minifigures are not actually minifigures of the Friends characters, but of the Friends actors? Which means this isn't a minifigure of Joey, the struggling actor who only had one big hit, but rather Matt LeBlanc playing Joey, the struggling actor who only had one big hit. This is weird. But not as weird as the laugh track that's been playing throughout the entire video. And speaking of the minifigures, the set has a total of 7 minifigures. Phoebe includes 2 pieces of her art. The dollhouse, where you can eat the furniture and run the risk of a fire, although the giraffe and the pirate survived. And Gladys, the weird 3D painting that got passed from apartment to apartment until Phoebe fixed the problem by creating a second painting Glenys even more terrifying than the first, which tragically for my nightmares they didn't include in the set, but I think Gladys will be more than enough to terrify Joey. Monica includes her turkey that got stuck on Joey's head when he wanted to scare Chandler, but later would be used by Monica to scare Chandler, and the only one who got scared was Joey. The turkey can also be a reference to when Joey tried to eat the whole thing using maternity pants. I mean his Thanksgiving pants. Ross includes a bottle of powder he used to help get his leather pants on, although it didn't work out too well. Joey's wearing not 1, not 2, but all of Chandler's clothes. And Chandler will need those clothes since the suit he has is the one he tore on the entertainment center where Joey was locked up when trying to sell it. maybe that's not so bad since his alternate face is his characteristic laugh, so he looks pretty happy. Rachel is wearing the clothes from the day she lost Ross's monkey, Marcel. I think she did a great job. And finally there's Janice with her characteristic laugh. On her alternate face, oh my god.
Oh my God.
Oh, if you think I know all these friend references thanks to my master's degree in Friends from watching the more than 200 episodes, you're wrong. I know all the references thanks to the fact that in the corners you get all the necessary info, so if someone asks you, what does this mean? You can tell them, it's a great joke. You should watch Friends. Each of the facts comes in English, French, and Spanish, and I don't know about French, but some of the facts in Spanish make absolutely zero sense. Trying to read that gave Godzilla a stroke. And that was the Friends apartment set. If you want to see more, watch Wow, now that's a big boy! And that's something you won't just say about the size of the set once you see everything hidden inside this iconic building, which I have no idea where I'm gonna put. Coming in at $349.99, the box includes 36 bags, numbered 1 to 16, some numbered bags, and a super villainous amount of stickers. If you're out there, we need you, Superman! Thanks to these connection points, that Daily Bugle can be one of the buildings in your Lego city. If Lego urban planning is your passion, although no matter how much planning you do, no city would be prepared for everything happening inside and outside this New York building. Who would have thought even a manhole cover would witness so much action, since the rat passing by isn't just any rat, but the rat that saved the Marvel Cinematic Universe. At least according to the designer. Pretty heroic. Not raised for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles heroic, but still it's definitely in the top tier of New York rats that saved the universe. I hope it can also save us from whoever made this hole in the Daily Bugle's wall, or at least call someone to fix it. The accuracy with which this set recreated the streets of New York is amazing, with dirty alleys full of graffiti like Eddie Was Here, the Green Goblin's logo, and a few others I added in post-production to make it look a bit more New York, where you could get mugged by Spider-Man?
He stole that guy's pizza.
Backpack. Or maybe that's just where Peter keeps his stuff. But we'd better keep moving before we find out what happened here, where we come across the newsstands with all the headlines every New Yorker needs to know. Like how there's no crime, no thanks to the Spider Menace. Or you can buy Business Magazine featuring the legitimate businessman Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin. The building's facade is a combination of boring and extraordinary, words that perfectly describe the set in many ways. With a build that was sometimes excessively repetitive, making window after window after window 347 times. Pieces in colors as varied as gray, gray, or super gray. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, you have to apply Mega Stickers! A sticker that not only increases in size but in difficulty too, since applying it will cause you more stress than defusing a nuclear bomb. One wrong move could result in the complete annihilation of a great Lego joke. If that's not enough to consider this set the ultimate nightmare for sticker haters, just wait until you see what they created in the fifth circle of Lego hell. How am I supposed to stick that? Hey, doesn't look too bad. But when everything looked grayer than ever, the Green Goblin arrives to literally break the monotony, smashing through beams and windows, crashing through the set in an explosive scene full of color and excitement, making you say this might be the best set I've ever built in my life. But then you remember the massive amount of stickers and appropriately place it in a not bad 6th place. One less mega sticker and maybe it would have made that top 5. But despite how annoying they are, the stickers really are the difference between a pile of concrete and one of the most famous buildings in New York. After the Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, the St. Patrick's Cathedral, well, the most famous in Marvel Comics. After Avengers Tower, the Baxter Building, the Chrysler Building came to life, and Dark Tower, well, an iconic building. That really gives you the feeling of walking in front of one of New York's skyscrapers, filled with ads for politicians we can trust. Democracy! Ha 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 ha! Shows with only the most important facts. And news that isn't exactly true, like the kind only the Daily Bugle can give you. About the clone epidemic out of control, where obviously the prime suspect is Spider-Man.
What the f***?
Luckily, it's not just stickers that help keep the building personality, but pieces like the Daily Bugle logo, which is imprinted but built letter by letter, perfectly crowning this iconic building. On the roof, we can find a water tower vandalized by the Green Goblin and Spider-Man, maybe Jameson or something, and a communications antenna that better be fireproof since that's where Firestar will be flying, but more on her later. Now it's time to finally enter the building, but not through the front door. Let's just say I forgot my pass in an epic battle. So instead we'll go in through the fire escape, which we can easily reach by folding it down. And as you go up, you can see the little Daily Bugle air conditioning bird, Tom Tucker.
Hello, I'm Tom Tucker.
And a few floors up, you'll see the other little bird named, I have no idea, he hasn't introduced himself, but if you think you know his name, let me know in the comments down below. Right at the top of the building, we find J. Jonah Jameson's office, the office where all the most important decisions happen, like naming villains and crushing Spider-Man's hopes of being a profitable brand. In the back are some of his many awards and a space rock for a special character. That or it's just a reference to his son being an astronaut. I bet right now he's doing something just as important like firing Peter Parker. Oops. In the next room is his secretary, Betty Brant, working just as hard to ignore Eddie Brock's 99 missed calls. So we'd better let him work. And we head down to the next floor on the elevator. Which doesn't work. This floor is known as the abandoned storage room. Not much to see, just junk nobody uses, a photocopier, and a balcony with the best view of the safest alley in New York. Not even the spider that moved in here finds it particularly interesting, so I guess there's nothing else to see. Although, wait a minute, what's behind those boxes? It's Peter Parker's office, which considering J. Jonah Jameson's email, he probably isn't gonna use it except maybe to recreate this iconic meme. On the second floor, is the heart of the Daily Bugle, where all the most sensationalist news will be written. Stories about city blackouts that only the heroic Electro can save us from. How did Rhino escape his cage at the zoo? And who is Spider-Man and how did he get an office in this building? Next to the elevator is the Wall of Fame, featuring the Daily Bugle's most iconic headlines, mostly from the original Spider-Man trilogy. But perhaps even more importantly, this area has the best LEGO office supplies, even better than the office supplies in the LEGO The Office. Going down to the ground floor, you'll see we change our perspective because beyond the hall on the left, there is no optimal way to see this area other than from above, through the door, and I think you can see something through the windows. This is the waiting area, where you can enter if you didn't forget your pass through the sliding door, and sit in one of the 3 seats to read one of the 2 daily papers. Drink a delicious web juice from one of the best LEGO vending machines I've seen, or simply watch TV to stay informed about the panic created in the garlic industry by a vampire in the subway, because that's the most dangerous thing this city has to offer.
It's Morbin time.
Help us, please! And how could you get around the city without the help of fire? No. Webs? No. A hoverboard designed for nefarious purposes? No. Spider Boogie? Nope. Definitely not. I'm talking about that taxi, the most iconic car in New York. Probably because it's the only car you can actually drive in New York. By hopping in the red cap, you'd even get there faster than with the previously mentioned means of transportation. Especially the Spider Boogie. Why would you choose traffic and non-existent parking spots when you can swing through the city or ask the Green Goblin for a ride? This set doesn't have 1 or 2 minifigures, this set has an entire army, being the set with the second most minifigures in existence, 25 in total. Among the civilians are Bernie the cab driver, Amber Grant, and Ron Barney. Ron and Amber includes extra faces that reflect how annoying a supervillain attack at noon is. The slightly more well-known civilians are Aunt May, Peter Parker's aunt, who will greet you with a friendly happy face and cookies, although she's not a big fan of unexpected visits. When Gwen Stacy, Peter's girlfriend and fellow crime fighter, has two faces, one sure of herself and one surely angry. Next we have the Daily Bugle employees, Robbie Robertson, Daily Bugle editor with a Spidey-shaped soft spot. His two faces are happy and angry because he remembered his job consists of slandering his hero. Ben Jurek, reporter, always the first with the big stories. His two faces are happy and bored. Out of all the minifigure options they could have picked, I don't know why they chose this character instead of someone more iconic from the Daily Bugle like Hoffman. Betty Brant, J. Jonah Jameson's secretary. Her faces are happy and disgusted. Peter Parker, Daily Bugle photographer, and definitely not Spider-Man. Includes two faces, happy and... Ah, that's why she didn't want to come with me. And the most important one, J. Jonah Jameson, editor-in-chief of the Daily Bugle with a face of...
I want Spider-Man!
I mean his normal face and his alternate face.
Kiddo, let mom and dad talk for a minute, will you?
But if you combine his head with Spider-Man's body, you can recreate the best deleted scene in history. On the villain's side, we have Black Cat, who, unless you're a comic expert, you'll know her as the white-haired Catwoman. She includes a whip and a diamond I hope she paid for. Her two faces represent happiness and anger. Mysterio, a highly mysterious character, especially when you look under his helmet and see that his two faces are blanked. Sandman only has one face, Furious. He doesn't include legs, but a sand tornado that can be made even bigger and more imposing with a base that bursts through the concrete. Venom and Carnage are a sea of tentacles that, despite their quantity, are no match for the mega tentacles of Dr. Octopus, who, unlike Venom and Carnage, can actually be posed any way you want. His two faces are thinking about crimes and the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. And finishing up that villain's club is the Green Goblin, a villain so iconic they have to bring him back from the dead. He is carrying his bag of tricks, and his two faces are his evil laugh and his other face. You really don't want to know what happens when he makes that face. The superheroes on this set are enough to make their own team, with Miles Morales, the only Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse who can rock Jordans with that much swag. Spider-Ham, aka Peter Porker, part pig, part spider, an absolute hero, and my favorite minifigure, Spider-Pig. Spider-Pig does whatever a Spider-Pig does. And completing the trio that came from the Spider-Verse, we have Spider-Gwen, the secret identity of Gwen Stacy. Daredevil, the man without fear, a pretty simple minifigure if it weren't for the little horns on his head that make it look quite unique and pretty cool. Punisher has a smiling face, and his alternate face is the only face he has in all his shows, movies, and comics, beaten up and looking to beat someone else up even harder. Firestar, a popular character if you watch the 80s show Spider-Man and his amazing friends, with two faces, one happy and one angry. I have no idea, but if you did watch the 80s show, tell me what makes her happy or angry. Blade, vampire hunter, with his incredible dual katanas, and Spider-Man. What else can be said? He's Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, multiple blockbuster movies, has been with the Avengers, he's Spider-Man. And that was the Daily Bugle said. If you wanna see more, click right here before...
You're fired!